Jason,
Hey,
here I am in Calgary.
this is amazing. You're in my living room.
Yeah, I'm in,
Literally,
I'm in your living room.
I know.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I flew out here. So we're recording this in the summer, and it's been great. Out here in Calgary, big blue sky, sunshine.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for being out here, man. It's really,
Yeah.
really great to
Yeah,
have you.
it's
Calgary's happy to have you. It's been great.
Thanks, man. You've taken me around your school.
Yeah.
The other different schools. You've taken me around the downtown core.
Yeah.
We went for a walk in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
All of these things. Tell me a little bit about what community means to you, because you're kind of proud of this place.
I am super. And that's a gift in having somebody from away come and join us.
Mhm.
I'm proud of community to me is like shared values, shared aspirations. It's care, it's connection, it's all of those things. And I think like being a member of this Calgary community means a lot to me, in the fact that I think Calgary, like many of our cities, Toronto, Vancouver, otherwise, is really we're trying to build something special here.
Yeah.
I think we are. And I think, whether it's the arts community, we've got a great sports community, we have great humanity in the city, and that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
It's like alive here, and it's like the West is full of energy, and the entrepreneurial spirit is something I really do connect with. And so, I think community is all those things.
Yeah.
It's connection. Calgary's a great place to be in. Thanks for letting me show you around.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Today's podcast, though, is really about the community that you're entering.
Yes. Nice segue.
Well, it's
Love
easy. And I think I actually turn the mic on you for the next 20 or so minutes.
Yeah.
And we talk about your transition from your current school to a new school.
Yeah.
Transition from, the role you have to a new role.
Yeah.
And we actually also talk about the transition of the podcast moving from being about Ted Lasso to being about leadership principles, now in entering our third season about books and authors in leadership. And so lots of transitions in this episode.
Let's transition to the episode.
Let's do it. I think
right.
people are going to love it.
Enjoy.
Lassoing leadership, sharp and true. Beard's Book Club got wisdom for you. Turn the pages, let the stories flow. Unpacking lessons as we grow.
Hey, welcome back to Lassoing Leadership.
Hey, Jason.
Here we are. This is a kickoff for season 3.
Yeah.
And
look at us.
I know.
We're in the same room.
This is not artificial intelligence, not virtual reality.
This is live. We're high five. There you go.
Real. For those of you who are watching this on Spotify, you'll know that we're in my living room in Calgary. It's summertime. We're both done school now, which is unbelievable. And we got a chance to record live.
So why not? We took it.
So this is it. So this is a conversation. Like I said to Garth, hey, we should take a minute, turn the microphone back on you a little bit. You've got a big leadership change coming up. I think this is another opportunity to reintroduce you to your new community and talk about what we've learned in leadership. So let's start.
I'm excited.
Let's start with, tell us about your leadership change.
Sure. So I'm moving from Vice Principal of Experiential Education and Innovation at Havergall College in Toronto, Ontario.
Incredible school, by the way.
It is an amazing school. Very hard to leave that school.
We had Dr.
Community.
Katrina Sampson as a last guest of last season.
Yeah.
Unbelievable for those who have a chance to go back to it.
Vanessa Wade, her and I worked at Havergall together.
Yeah.
So, rich history. Nicole Cozier.
I was just thinking of her. Yeah. It was a great interview.
So, great people, but leaving for a new opportunity on the other side of Toronto called Etobicoke, and I'm going to be the head of school at Kingsway College School.
Cool.
Yeah.
So give us the Kingsway College School pitch. What's the elevator pitch? What kind of school are you going to? Tell us a little bit of the history of KCS for those who don't know, just to frame up the conversation.
Yeah, it's an amazing school. Yeah, it is known as a community, like a truly community-based school. The very first head of school is Hal Hannaford, who's been on our podcast as well.
Very, very popular episode, actually.
Yeah. And so I will be the fifth head of school there.
Cool.
I think the fifth head of school. And the K-8 program runs in Etobicoke, just off of Dundas. And it's about 8 kilometers from my home, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But most importantly, that school has been around for about 37 years. And I know that the students that come out of that are highly sought after students for grade 9 to 12, because they do things like the school is grounded in like, we have manners, we try our best, and we are kind.
Yeah.
And everything else flows from that, which I think it's really special in a lot of ways. And that excited me about the community.
Yeah.
But they've also just launched a new senior school, grade 9 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happening at a different campus, 38,000 square feet. It's in a condo at the mouth of the Humber River into Lake Ontario.
Cool.
It's won architecture awards. It is a beautiful, beautiful campus layout. And it's exciting to be a part of something that's so new in Toronto. And the things that I love to do about education, think about creatively moving the time, like the way we use time, thinking about experiential learning, which is near and dear to my heart, thinking about mentorship within the community, and how do we get students into different parts of the community as a learning experience. That's in their DNA. So that's super exciting for me.
So when you think about, like, that's a great pitch for KCS. Amazing. Now let's do a pitch for yourself. So when you think about Garth as a head of school, why are you such a natural fit for this community? What do you think about that?
I would say it's like alignment of values and philosophy.
Yeah.
That's my sort of gut reaction. Like when I was going through the process of this with the search committee, that's what I found myself being really like gravitating towards and being really attracted to, was just how aligned we were that this school is about excellence and success.
Yeah.
So long as the students get to define that for themselves.
Yeah.
And that the philosophy of education is not something that is grounded in the standards. It's not something that's grounded in what we think of as traditional education.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great traditions, tried, tested, and true, that exist there, but they're looking to change things and tweak things and try new things, which is something that I do as well.
Cool. We have a mutual appreciation of Derek Logan.
Yeah.
Right. I've known Derek for all my time as head, and I love him, and I know you do too.
Yeah.
And I know you've chatted with Derek a lot.
Yeah.
Coming into this, what's the best advice Derek's given you?
The best advice that Derek's given me, there's a lot. I think the one thing that he said was when he first moved into being head of school was this notion of like the person that he succeeded was like, this is your school now.
Yeah.
And he and I just last week in the summer, this past summer, we met for lunch, and that was one of the last things he said to me. He's like, it's your school now.
Cool.
I'm a phone call away.
Yeah.
I will never call you.
Yeah.
You can call me at any time.
Yeah.
He has been profoundly generous with his time, his expertise, his understanding, inviting me into the school. The school itself has been profoundly generous with welcoming me and helping me have a really smooth transition, which will continue like all through the next I would hope for about 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what I've read, in terms of transition time.
Yeah.
So
it takes forever to figure everything out. I think coming in with this, like, I don't know, being humble and naive and optimistic, I think are pretty important qualities for a new head, and not having this like notion that you know everything.
Yeah.
So I want to, I think there probably are going to be a few listeners from the KCS community on this, whether it's like staff, parents, maybe even some students will be listening to you. And like, I think if I was one of them, I'd be like wondering, as Garth comes in, what is his measure of success in the first, second, third year? Like what will mark a successful headship for you in those time spans?
Yeah, great question. I think the first year, and this is, I've never done this before in terms of moving into a head of school. So I will be doing a lot of like research, a lot of listening, do the listening tour. That's what everyone's like, do the listening tour.
Yeah.
But I go back to a book I read, and the author's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Thomas Olverson.
Yeah. It's going to be a wicked interview. Actually, it is a wicked interview.
It is a wicked.
It's really good.
His advice is, create a SWOT analysis of the school. and even go a little bit further with that and gain your own understanding, know the nooks and crannies and all that stuff. And I think it was you who actually gave me the suggestion, know what every light switch turns on, right?
Yeah.
You know, look
totally.
in the closet to understand the infrastructure of the school physically, but also culturally.
Yes.
And I think that's a measure of success that will take, 1 to 3 years to really get behind.
Yeah.
So that would be something I'd be looking to do, like actually create that.
Yeah.
And then there's the business side of the school, which is enrollment, advancement, tuition, those types of things, making sure that the school as a business is healthy. And but as you and I talk about this all the time, and I'm inheriting, I think what is an incredible culture.
You really
that,
are.
That Derek and Martina and Andrea and Rick, that all of these amazing people and Mark have created.
Yeah.
And so I think a mark of success would be that culture is just continues to deepen and extend and really become something that you can, see and feel.
Yeah. I think you got to be like a really active researcher on the front end.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally figure out what every switch does.
Yeah.
Before you got to know the owner's manual before you can change anything, because that I think is really important.
Well, you transitioned like internally in Rundle. What was your marker of success in the first year?
Well, I remember in my interview too, Garth, it's like one of the board members said, "What will you change in the first year?" And I remember saying, "I'm not going to change anything." And I think I really did hold to that. And my marker of success was, meeting with actually people who had retired from the organization, some of the oldest standing, and really getting to understand what the secret sauce is of Rundle. And I think even 11 years in, I'm still trying to figure out what that is. I'm still being curious
about it.
Of a culture, and continually seeking to understand that. That takes a long time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
It's a curious question. So somebody from KCS communities listening to this and they say, I want to have a conversation with Garth. Where should they start? What lights you up? What's most interesting to you in this world, Garth? We're going to come up, and what's the best introduction question and why, if you're going to start a conversation with Garth?
Wow. I think it would be talking about what's important in education right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I love questions about, what is something like generative AI doing to education? Also, who was your favorite, or not favorite, but what was one of the most impactful educators that you've worked with, or, what's an impactful educational moment for you?
Mm-hmm.
Just those conversations are fun. As opposed to what's your favorite subject? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what are the experiences that you're interested in? And then talking about who we are as people.
Yeah.
Beyond just, you as a parent of a child who goes to KCS, what line of work are you in? What lights you up? Those types of things. When your son, daughter, or child is not at the school, what are they doing? What are they interested in?
Knowing you, Garth, there's lots to this, but I can't help myself. I mean, you put it out there. What is one of the impactful educational experiences that has formed your view of education? Give me one of those.
Sure.
I'm super curious. What would you say?
Yeah, I think I attended a school, and my English teacher, Dr. Michael DeBroy, had a profound impact on me.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was grade 12, even though I was back in high school in Ontario, we had the grade 13, but certainly in grade 12 and grade 13, he would assign these massive independent study projects, ISPs, and anyone who was around in Ontario at that time knows what these are. And I've always liked to push education a little bit, even when I was participating in it. And so I asked him, instead of writing an independent research study project, could I write a short story instead?
Yeah.
And he said, yes. And my sort of thesis was around environmental catastrophe and humanity's ability to survive that. What are the core elements of humanity that will allow us to survive environmental catastrophe? And he said, what books will you read? Because we had to do an annotated bibliography. And then he handed me 3 books.
Yeah.
And one of them was a collection of essays called The Wild is Still There.
Yeah.
Another was H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
Yeah.
And the third one was Winter's Tale by Mark Halperin. So this is over 30 years ago. Wow. I remember these titles very, very clearly. And one of them was definitely related to my subject. The other two were not. And I remember doing all my reading and reading these last two books, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells and Witch's Tale by Mark Halperin, and just really struggling. I said, so Dr. DeBroy, can you I'm struggling with the books. And so I have to ask you a question. Are these your favorite books? And he goes, oh, yes, they are. You figured it out. And that was profound. He wanted to share something that was deeply meaningful for him, doctorate in English, the whole bit. And I think that's a core part of what it means to be an educator. Like sharing parts of yourself, sharing things that light you up, sharing things that other people can enjoy as well. That's always meant a lot to me. And so gifting books is part of my thing. Part of your practice.
Well, and it's a perfect segue. I don't know if you meant to do that or not, but it's like, this is a great segue, Garth, to lassoing leadership, but also to learn a little bit more about you. So this coming season, we're going to get into it. I think we've already interviewed close to 10 authors. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get to 20 by the time we're done. And exciting. The concept is Beard's Book Club. It's all of the books that inspire us in education.
Well, you and I read a lot.
Yes. Well, you read more than I do,
we always find ourselves talking about books. Right.
So let's start with, let's not get into lassoing leadership season 3 yet. I'm curious, do the desert island bit for me. So if you're going on to a desert island and you knew that you're going to be there for a couple of years, give me 3 books that you would take with you because they'd be worth revisiting in your isolation and boredom. What would you be picking up?
Well, 2 popped to mind right away. So Heart of Darkness. That's one of the only books I've read more than once. I generally only read books more than once. Sorry, it was just once. So Heart of Darkness, there's a book, the author's name escapes me right now, but it's called Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. Oh, wow. And that's a more current book, and it's about the rise of gaming culture. Cool. And computer culture, which I think is really interesting. So those 2 books, because Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow is a line from Shakespeare. And so this is, it's a Shakespearean tragedy written in a very modern context, which I really, really loved. There's a lot. Another one would be Greenwood, and that is it's an environmental catastrophe, but it's the last stand of old growth trees on Vancouver Island. Set about 25 years in the future. It's really provocative and really interesting. So these are books that I can constantly revisit. Oh, and I think it's Richard Power, The Understory, which is the story of the Understory. Or is it the Overstory? I can't remember. Anyway, The Life of Trees. And these are books you can keep going back to and just extracting more and more information and concepts out of. So those would be 4 books. Heart of Darkness. Then it would be Greenwood, the Overstory. It's called The Overstory, and Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. What about you?
I was kind of hoping you'd ask, because I've been thinking about while you're talking. I'm trying to capture those books in my mind and think about which book I would take. And I think I get it just down to 1 book, and it's I just loved the Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And I think there's something.
Hang on a second. I got to interrupt you. Because that was our grade 13 book study. With Dr. Michael DeBroy.
Dense.
Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
It's dense and so rich. And it's just great call.
Great call.
Each chapter in that book is worthy of a day of reflection. And it just takes you through this journey. And I, as you're talking, I was so inspired. I'm picking up that book this summer. I'm going to do it the way I've done in the past. I've read it several times, but it's just 1 chapter. And I love this notion of what is quality? How do we define quality? And I can't wait to get into it, because I need to meditate on that. I think, so I'm excited. So that would be my book.
Oh, great choice.
Upstairs. I can't wait to get into it. Okay. So let's 2 things as we wrap up this podcast. I have 2 items. First is we're going to come back to books at the end. But before we get there, I want to talk about your leadership. And we've done 80 some odd episodes of this. And we've had the great privilege of interviewing some incredible people. You've mentioned many of them, and we could go on. And we probably shouldn't, because we're going to forget somebody. But our library is deep now. And you do an incredible job of like keeping notes on each of these.
Yeah.
Every time we interview somebody, you've got a page of notes.
Yeah.
And you don't take them typically like it's a random abstract note page. And I love seeing them. You brought them out here to Calgary and we were like flipping through them and enjoying them. Okay. I want, 1, 2, 3, 4 leadership lessons you've taken from talking to these leadership experts over the course of last 2.5 years we've been doing this.
Yeah.
What have you learned about leadership from our experience in this podcast?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would say 20% down, something you've talked about.
Yeah.
You learned that from Hal.
Yeah.
And that's don't make assumptions about the lived experience when someone comes into your office emotionally heightened or anything along those lines. So lead with that. Lead with curiosity and compassion. That's definitely one of them. And then if you think you've done enough listening, you haven't, keep listening more.
Cool. Totally.
So those are 2 things that keep coming up and coming up. And then it's the power of questions.
Yeah. Those are
and being able to ask really good questions.
Yeah.
And timing of those questions. So you're not interrupting. You're not leaving too much space, but you're allowing, and it's just really good coaching, right?
Yeah.
Like we learned that from Quinn Simpson.
Yeah.
We learned that from Vanessa Wade. We learned that from so many different people. And then the last thing was like, for me, and like, I'm not going to lie, I'm really excited about going to Kingsway College School. I'm really excited. There's also a part of me that's kind of terrified.
Yeah, of course.
Like really nervous.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine when I was down in Albuquerque, and my friend Shai, who's also head of school at down in Nashville.
Yeah.
And we were walking along the Rio Grande. Yeah. And we're walking a dog, and I said, I wonder if I'll be allowed to bring my dog to campus. And he looks at me and goes, whose permission are you asking? Like, I was like, oh yeah. I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And making these decisions. So it's a huge, awesome responsibility. And so the 4th lesson, which I think is really come out for me, is like, I need to go in there knowing not only what my values are, but how to articulate my values in decision making, how to articulate my values when asking questions, and certainly when answering questions. So those are the big ones that stand out for me.
Cool. And I think that's like, we talk about this all the time, but having the privilege to do this podcast and spend time thinking and articulating ideas about leadership and then owning them. There's like a certain ownership that comes with like publishing this sort of thing to the web.
Yeah.
And then I do think there's something about listening that I continue to learn from this podcast.
Yeah.
It's like asking good questions, really listening to the response, and finding ways to get deeper into the conversation. And I think it'd be interesting to look back on the early podcasts to now and see how, perhaps our interview techniques have changed. But I think I'm learning a lot along the way as well when it comes to like dialogue.
Yeah. I love what you said about accountability, because, and you and I talk outside of the podcast, and sometimes sharing a story with you where something happened to me on just walking down the street, and I was literally like, what would Jason do? What would be the right move in this moment? And what would you do? What would Ted Lasso do? What's the advice that we get? It's just such a privilege to have this always kind of on your shoulder, talking you through being your own coach. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I think that's true, Garth. I think the other part too is like, we're human. So like, we can sit here and have these interviews, have these conversations, and have all the best intention and knowledge and still mess up.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's humbling to know that the level of imperfection in leadership is huge.
Yeah. And as Drew Dudley said, you just have to try and be the best leader you can be on that day.
Yes.
Every day
you
wake up and you say, I'm just going to try and be the best leader I can today.
And I think our listeners could think this was scripted. There's nothing scripted about this podcast, but that's a perfect segue to the last portion of what I want to talk about. We are moving into season 3 of Lassoing Leadership, and I couldn't be more excited. We've gone ahead and landed some incredible authors so far. So, and we can't say them all because we just simply don't have time.
Yeah. But we've told people about the first 5.
Yeah. So tease it a bit. Who do you think people are going to most enjoy that we've interviewed so far, given that we've, had 8 or 10 conversations.
Yeah, I think they're going to enjoy, obviously, like every single one, but one of them, Kurt Gray.
So good.
He's so good. And I think it's timely for leaders just talking about this concept of like outrage and how to reframe outrage as harm. And so what's the harm that this person is feeling and or feel that they're being done to them? And then Grant Lichtman is in his book Thrive. He's like, here's all the tools. So those two stand out in the first 5 for sure. And then like we can go on, like Phoebe Trotman, Never Give Up on a Bad Day. But we have intentionally started in a certain order. So
we have a really fun couple of interviews coming out. Like George Couros. I have yet to listen back to that conversation
because it's a lot of energy.
It's on fire, the whole thing. And then we have Dr. Jody Carrington, who's famous across North America for her work
and her swearing.
That's our first explicit episode. It's so fun. And we recorded that one the day after her 50th birthday. And she's absolutely on fire. And I think that's really, really exciting. I think it's going to be a great interview.
And a lot of schools will know Drew Dudley for the Lollipop Moment, his TED Talk, and he comes on. He's like, and then he brings this conversation, like it's incredible. He's incredibly vulnerable in the conversation.
He is really vulnerable in the conversation.
And I think our listeners will enjoy that tone and that pace, that level of calm in that conversation. So,
and I think Phoebe is always fabulous, but you talk about vulnerability, she brings it to a new level. In the podcast, and I think like that's the theme of these author conversations, just like how real all of them are. They're living their work and they're living leadership and they want to talk about it. And we've had some really extraordinary chats. Well, okay. That was an extraordinary chat, Garth. This
great questions, amazing. Jason. Thanks for turning the mic over to me. I appreciate it. But I'm excited for the move. And I'm excited to actually like keep talking about this transition with you. As we get into September to December to January, all those great things. So and I always appreciate your leadership advice too.
Well, those kids and community are very, very lucky. To have you, Garth.
Oh, thank you.
Can't wait to see how it goes.
It's an incredible community. So cool. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, brother. That was
Thanks,
fun.
Man. All right.
Lassoing leadership, sharp and true. Beard's Book Club got wisdom for you. Turn the pages, let the stories flow. Unpacking lessons as we grow.
Hey, Jason. Thanks for turning the mic on to me. I really, really appreciate it.
That was so fun.
It just made me, just thinking back on that conversation, just made me really grateful for all of my colleagues at Havergall College. They've made this, they've made the transition so beautiful for me, actually. So shout out to all of them. And of course, to Dr. Katrina Sampson for making that a really special end of that chapter of my career. Really, really appreciate it. And also huge shout out to Derek Logan and Tiffany J, who are chair of the board and retiring head of school at Kingsway. If you were to write a playbook, I've said this before, if you were to write a playbook of how to transition ahead successfully, this is it. And I do from both ends, right? How to exit a school and then how to enter a school. It's been a beautiful last couple of weeks, and I have a lot of gratitude and appreciation for that. So thanks for letting me have this conversation.
Well, Garth, and totally agree. And I've been talking to you over the last couple of days when we were in Calgary. And we talk about mattering and purpose on this podcast a lot. We're going to have authors who talk about it, but it seems to me that everybody around you has let you know just how significant you are. Right? And
nice.
You are significant, and you can just tell it. And I think that is a playbook for supporting somebody. So I think that there's a lot to be learned there. A huge kudos to everybody at both your schools for making that feeling work.
And all, like, I agree. And part of that is that has helped me is that I've been able to tell other people how much they've mattered to me. And all that stuff. So anyway, just wanted to close with that. Thanks, Jason.
Amazing.
seat. It's time to learn, it's time to meet. Garth and Jason setting the tone. Leadership lessons to take back home. Lassoing leadership sharp and true. Beard's Book Club got wisdom for you. Turn the pages, let the stories flow. Unpacking lessons as we grow. Keep leading the lasso way. Together we'll grow stronger every day. So plug in your headphones and let's start the show. With lessons from Ted, we'll learn and grow. Lassoing leadership sharp and true. Beard's Book Club got wisdom for you. Turn the pages, let the stories flow. Unpacking lessons as we grow. Keep leading the lasso way. Together we'll grow stronger every day. So plug in your headphones and let's start the show. With lessons from Ted, we'll learn and grow. Lasso